Guys, I want to discuss something with you that goes beyond, political rivalry. This is about public trust. It's about democratic responsibility and the duty of every elected representative to serve the people who placed them in office. The question I want to put to the Jamaican people in this one is, should a sitting councillor who openly discusses using delay tactics to frustrate disaster recovery continue serving the people who elected him? Guys, my answer is no. 100% no. Absolutely not. Why do I say that? Public office is a public trust. When Jamaicans elect a councillor, they are not simply voting for someone wearing a political color. They are entrusting that individual with the responsibility of representing everyone in this division, not just party supporters and not just political friends, everyone. A councillor takes on a duty to improve roads, restore communities, represent residents, fight for development, respond during emergencies, and after Hurricane Melissa, thousands of Jamaicans were affected. Families lost their roofs, roads became impassable, businesses suffered, communities require immediate assistance. At moments like these, guys, politics should stop. Disaster recovery is supposed to unite a country. It is not supposed to become another political battlefield. That should never be the case. This leaked recording has placed Mario Mitchell at the center of a very serious public trust concern. And in that recording, we all heard him. We heard him discussing the use of what he described as delay tactics. According to reports surrounding the recording, the objective was to frustrate or slow aspects of the government's post-Hurricane Melissa recovery effort. And we heard that objective discussed between Mario and a female. The objective was to sabotage, to obstruct, and to delay, like they said. Now, whether you support the government or the opposition is beside the point. The larger issue is this: a sitting elected representative appeared willing to delay work that ordinary Jamaicans desperately needed. That should concern every Jamaican, because disasters do not ask who you voted for. Floodwater does not check your political affiliation. Collapsed bridges do not distinguish between JLP supporters and PNP supporters. Recovery belongs to everyone. Who suffers from delay? The delay tactics they talk about, who suffers? It's not the ministers. It's not the, local government practitioners. No, it's not the politicians. It's usually the ordinary Jamaicans. It is the elderly woman waiting for road access. It is the farmer trying to move produce. It is the parent attempting to get children safely back to school. It's the small business owners. It is the taxi operators. It is the nurses, the construction workers. Delay hurts citizens, not governments or oppositions. This is why disaster recovery should never become a political weapon. Mario Mitchell, PNP councillor of the Belfield division, betrayed the citizens of Belfield. The people who elected him expected representation. They expected advocacy, leadership, but instead, this leaked conversation raises the question of whether political strategy was placed above community welfare. Residents did not elect someone to slow progress. They elected someone to fight for faster progress. Every councillor should wake up each morning asking, how do I improve life for my constituents today? Not how do I slow development? That is the complete opposite of representation. And Mario Mitchell has breached the trust of the people who elected him. He has broken their trust. And politics operates on trust. Voters cannot see every meeting. They cannot hear every private discussion. But they trust elected officials to make decisions in their interest. Once that trust is broken, confidence begins to disappear. The issue here is not simply the words. It is what those words suggest about priorities. If delaying recovery becomes acceptable politics, then guys, citizens become nothing more than collateral damage in political competition, or even when there's no competition, because the election is over. This is unacceptable. Accountability matters. And some people will argue that it's only politics. No, democracy depends upon accountability. When public officials make serious errors, they must face consequences. Accountability cannot apply only when it is politically convenient. It must apply consistently, and public office carries privilege. It also carries responsibility. And when responsibility is abandoned, accountability must follow. Civil society heard it. We all heard it. Government criticized and said what they had to say. People condemn it. Members of the media spoke. We heard Dean Jackson Miller. Why did everybody speak out? It is because Jamaica deserves better. Disaster recovery should unite every level of government. Local government, central government, private sector, churches, community groups, volunteers. Everyone should be pulling in the same direction, not working against one another and working against the people. Come on. This is bigger than party politics. This discussion should not be viewed through a partisan lens. Imagine if the political parties were reversed, okay? Imagine if any councillor from any political party had suggested delaying disaster recovery. The principle remains exactly the same. Wrong is wrong. Good governance demands consistency. The standard should never change depending on party colors. Some of these people, they don't understand what it means when we talk about leadership, because leadership means putting your country first. Every single time you get the opportunity to do it, or when you're tested, you're supposed to always put your country and people first. That is what you should do when you think about running for politics. Leadership requires sacrifice. Sometimes leaders must place national interests above political advantage. Okay? And natural disasters are one of those moments. When citizens are suffering, politics should take a back seat. Helping people should become the only priority. History remembers leaders who rose above politics during national crisis. And it also remembers those who place politics above people. Every elected official eventually decides which legacy they wish to leave. Now I'm going to tell you why resignation for Mario Mitchell is appropriate. Because public confidence matters. Resignation is not simply punishment. It is recognizing that trust has been compromised. And when an elected representative appears willing to obstruct recovery for the people, affecting the very people they serve, confidence in that representative is inevitably damaged. Public office depends upon credibility, guys. And once credibility is severely weakened, effective representation becomes increasingly difficult. And resignation allows accountability. It also demonstrates respect for the office itself. And public office should never belong to the individual. It belongs to the people. These are lessons for every politician. The situation sends an important message to every politician across Jamaica that words matter. Private conversations matter. Yes, Private conversations matter, and political strategies also matter. Most importantly, the public interest must always come first. Every elected representative should remember one simple principle. You were elected to solve problems, okay? Not create them. You were elected to speed up development, not delay it. You were elected to serve citizens, Mario Mitchell, not political agendas. And at the end of the day, democracy depends on trust. So communities trust councillors, and councillors must honor that trust. And when actions or statements create the perception that political interests are being placed above the welfare of citizens, particularly during disaster recovery, serious questions about public confidence naturally arise. Jamaica deserves leaders who compete fiercely. I love it during elections, but work together when the country faces hardship. That's common sense. Recovery should never become political strategy. It should become national purpose. Mario Mitchell, you need to resign. You need to resign. Okay? Guys, this is Jamaica Politics Uncovered. If you believe leadership requires accountability, regardless of party, leave your thoughts respectfully